So it occurred to me that I haven't done any sort of Homebrew Wednesday video for a while now, so I thought, yeah, I'll do one. This is Saturday, and I'm going to make this kind of quick because I got the Bearcats game on behind me, and I'm hoping for a win. They're playing Memphis today. It's a tough game for them. Memphis is a great team. Bearcats are a great team. Hey, we're ranked this year. Woohoo! So a lot going on. I've been doing these BJCP videos, which has been kind of interesting because I've been looking at different styles and actually reading the stuff in depth, which is great. There's plenty more to go. I've been bouncing around. Next one's probably going to be spice herb vegetable and autumn seasonal and Christmas seasonal, or winter seasonal. They don't call it Christmas seasonal. So I have kind of a scheduling issue with those because I need to take the web exam by December to do the tasting exam in January. So there's more weeks than styles. There's fewer weeks than styles. So I'm going to be doing either a few styles per week or maybe just keeping them releasing even after I pass the entrance exam and hopefully the tasting exam. So other things going on, I brewed a New England style of IPA. I kind of blame Exit 12 and Main Brew Guy, Tap Out Brewing, for putting the idea in my head. And they didn't really do it. They didn't say, hey, you should brew an NE IPA. They were both brewing NE IPAs. Main Brew Guy Gary posted a great video about it, which I do something totally different. I actually use bittering hops, different malts, and everything. I'll post my recipe to my blog, and I'll put a link up in the corner there. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been fermenting. I was going to do a sample of it with this little video, but it was fucking hoppy. And by fucking hoppy, number one, the picture that's now up on the screen, but also when I dumped out the sample, I mean, I tasted a little bit of it just to check things. But there was all kinds of sludge in the glass, so there's a lot of hops that are still suspended, and it's run about 70 degrees right now in my water bath fermentation. So it's probably pretty close to being done. It was 10-16 at 69 degrees, so we're pretty close to being at the terminal gravity. I've been calling it Lose Yourself. For those of you who are familiar with Listerman Brewing, both my local homebrew store and a great brewery, they've been calling a bunch of their New England style IPAs based on different hip hop songs like Tricky, Brass Monkey, Biggie, 99 Problems But a Beer Ain't One, Sabotage, Hop's Gonna Give It to You. So a friend of mine opened up Alexandria Brewing, and he had one, and during their soft opening I got to go down there and started looking at the fermenters he had, and one of them had a thing hanging on it that said random rap reference, which I think's hilarious. So I figured I'd stick with the rap reference, and I called this Lose Yourself after the Eminem song. So I've been switching around the hops. I've got a bunch, multiple pounds, I think, or close to a pound of Hallertau Blanc, Nelson Sauvin, Eldorado, Magnum, of course, which is always my bittering hop. So did a late boil edition of Nelson Sauvin, Eldorado, and Hallertau Blanc. A little bittering edition with some Magnum. Whirlpool and dry hop with Nelson Sauvin, Eldorado, and some Citra. It's a New England IPA. You got to have Citra in it. And dry hop, same thing as the Whirlpool hops, Nelson Sauvin, Eldorado, and Citra. About 3 days into fermentation, so I can get that biotransformation. So when I do this, I buy 2 brews at a time. The other one's going to be a gingerbread ale, and that'll be like the subject of another Homebrew Wednesday video. I'll talk more about that. It's obviously not brewed because I don't have all the time in the world, and besides work being really busy, I've been busy in the weekends. I finished up my bathroom, which is in the room I'm actually looking in the direction. The camera's in the way, obviously, so you can't see it, and there's a wall in the way, of course, but it's nice that it's done. I don't have to run upstairs every time I need to use the restroom. And mind you, I'm in my office right now in the basement. This is where I work 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, sometimes 7. So it's nice to not have to run upstairs every time I need to use the restroom, because that gets old. And I drink a lot of water during the day, and a lot of coffee too, and some beer, of course. So I also got I searched Amazon for something like Chinese GoPro or something like that, and got this little $40 camera with a waterproof case and a ton of accessories. So I put it up just to be able to stare at the boil kettle for like an hour. So this is part of that video that it took. It's not the greatest quality, but for $40 with a bunch of accessories, I'm not really complaining. And by the time I actually post this, I'll probably have made some adjustments. It looked initially like the saturation was a little low, which I actually get from my cell phone camera too. So whatever. And in the spirit of beer, I have here, this is a brown ale. So I made an English brown 8 months ago, something like that. And I had a little too much than what the keg could hold. When I loaded up the keg, I have a bleeder line that's going from the gas line down into just a bucket of water to try and keep air from being able to go back up in, and also you have to let air out of the keg. So I noticed, beer's flowing through. I still have beer in the thing. So I got about half a gallon that I said, you know what, I'm going to put this in another, little 1 gallon jug and put some whiskey cubes in it. Some cubes that have just been sitting in whiskey for probably over a year. Got a lot of bourbon on the nose. Almost straight bourbon. Yeah, maybe a little bit of caramel, but I mean, there's a lot of bourbon in there. And I think I only dropped like 2 cubes in here. I didn't overdo it. And it's been in this for several months. Bourbon flavor, primarily. It really kind of overwhelmed the brown ale flavor. This was a little on the caramely side, which it was an English brown, so it was really good. I liked it. A lot more bourbon. It's actually really thin. There's like no mouthfeel at all with this. It's really thin. So it's an experiment. I actually probably will keg this or bottle it with some carbonation drops or something, because it's kind of pleasant, but this started out at like 5%, so I'd be lucky if it's 7% right now. I mean, this is not going to be a 10% beer. Fortunately, it didn't get infected. I know that's sometimes a problem, and I found some fruit flies in the airlock, which was starting to dry up, so I probably should have kept a better eye on it, but there doesn't seem to be any infection. No acetic acid or anything, so it's actually not bad. That's all I have today. Cheers.